Welcome back, everybody. Thank you guys so much for watching today. If it's your first time watching, make sure to click subscribe because we're going to be posting new content every single week for you guys and answering questions that are in you guys' comments on the Forex market. So today's video is going to be based off of our Instagram post. You can go ahead and follow us at Pivot to Profit. Link will be below in the comments section. And we posted there asking you guys what pairs you guys wanted us to do a full detailed top to bottom analysis on. So we're going to get right into that, show you guys the pairs that were messaged to us that they wanted to get charted up, and we're going to go ahead and mark some charts up today. Hope you guys enjoy. All right, guys, let's get this show on the road. First pair comes from NBA_ATM on Instagram, and he asked us to go over gold, XAU USD. So we're going to always start on the monthly time frame. Obviously, we see that gold has been huge, uptrending overall on the monthly. But let's go ahead and dissect this and look at recent price action. So I'm going to look right here, and I see a clear level of monthly demand. So when we look at this area, every time price comes into this area, we see buyers taking over the market. See right here, two touches here, another one here. We get a breakout and retest here, showing that it was a supply zone as well, right here and here. So this is our monthly zone, our lower zone for gold. Now looking at our upper zone, it used to be right around here because we, for months and months and months, had not broken this level right here. But now that we're above it, we kind of need to modify our monthly level to create a new monthly zone. And I'm seeing right here as our monthly level. Sure, let me go right here. There we go. So we're kind of right at that monthly level. We can break it down on the weekly chart now and see what's going on. We can also see right here, we do have an overall uptrend with 1, 2 clear touches and almost a touch right here for that third touch. Let's bring this down to the weekly now and see what we can break this down to. All right. So as far as a weekly zone, I would say we're looking somewhere around here for a mid-range zone inside of our monthly zone. And I don't really like this because this monthly zone has basically already been hit. And I want to always have my monthly zone above to see where the next level of monthly structure is. So looking at this, let's go ahead, shift this around a bit. There we go. Here's our weekly structure. And we can bring this back to the monthly, and I'll show you that on our monthly time frame, this next structure that we're looking at is right in this zone. We had that push down right here in the middle of this huge push to the upside, multiple rejections during consolidation there, this little pause with this candle right here, and then we dropped. So we know that price can potentially come up to that zone on the monthly perspective if we stay going bullish on the market. Now let's go over to, not the 1 minute. Let's go over to the weekly time frame. So as far as flow and structure of the market, we see that this level right here has not been clearly broken and stayed above this level since August of 2013. So this move right here is very, very important. And looking at this, we do have an impulse move and a correction back down. And now we're looking like we're starting to go bullish. So overall, still looking bullish on the weekly time frame. However, we are getting some sell sensitivity, some sell pressure, and that is coming from this level right here. Oh, this level right here, where we see previously in the market that we got that wick before that caused the market to push back down into this zone. And right here where we established a clear level of resistance 1, 2, 3, 4 times over back in 2010, 2011. So overall bullish still. Is bringing us down to the daily time frame. All right, so daily time frame, looking here, this is our lower zone, and upper zone right here. We are breaking back into the range. So I had a long bias on gold here because we broke out. We had a clear breakout, a clear retest. Now we're looking like we're breaking out back into the zone, and this could be a false breakout. So we got to go ahead and kind of just wait and be patient to see what's going to happen on this market. We do have sort of a wedge kind of forming here, but we can also go like this, and we can have basically this ascending wedge pattern that can cause a reversal in the market. And looking at this, now I can go over to my weekly chart and think about what's going on in this market. And when I think, actually monthly, we're going to need to go all the way to the monthly. When we go to the monthly, and we had this level that was broken, we have a clear break here, but it's not really a full body candle that has been broken above. So this month is almost over. This monthly candle is almost over. So in order for us to basically go bearish on this, we would need price to break below 1380. If we break back below 1380 before the month is over, then we're going to overall end up coming all the way back down, probably to like 1265 area. And that's because this monthly breakout failed to break out. It was a false breakout, and instead we'll come back all the way down to this trend line and the support right here at about 1280, 1285 area. As far as short term, let's go ahead, bring it back to the daily time frame and start looking at this. As we said, we did have that potential break and retest, and today is just not looking like it's going to play out. Let's go ahead to the 4-hour time frame now. So 4-hour time frame, we can see right here that we have this clear break and retest of this zone right here. And we have plenty of touches right here to confirm that bias. And if you wanted to extend it up, even up to here, to include these rejections as well, you still are showing that rejection, that rejection, that rejection, and 1, 2 rejections from here. So overall, it looks like we might be coming all the way back down to like 1406 area in the short term at least, and then see what happens from 1406 and see if we continue with this bullish consolidation and come back up to this daily resistance again and retest, or if we just start breaking to the downside and by the end of the month break below that monthly level and break back below, let's see, what was that number? Break back below this high of like 1385. We have all of these wicks. There we go. So 1366, and maybe come all the way back down to there and break below here. So literally in the next 7 or 8 days, if we see kind of strong bearish price action coming down this way, then we could potentially see continuation of bearish pressure on gold, because right now we're really just in consolidation and just kind of faking traders out. Nothing really good happening on gold as far as trading wise on the 4-hour and up. Looking at shorter term time frames on the 1-hour time frame, this is basically just intraday trading. This is where you're just, watching during New York session, whatever. You could see that when price comes up to these zones and we see clear rejections, that would have been your opportunity to sell today at around 10, 11 o'clock. And early New York session would have been your opportunity to get into those buys. When we came back to the support, we had a rejection, a pullback right here to get back in. And around 5, 6, by 6 or 7 o'clock, you had to get into this trade to then go long up to 1429. Right now is kind of a no trade zone. I would not be trading this unless you're trying to scalp the market. But overall, what we need to see to be more confident on gold is one of two scenarios to happen. Either we need a clear break back down to this daily support, retest this trend line, and then show some sell pressure around this level right here. That could give us potential shorts back down to 1366. If you want to be more patient, you're going to wait for a break of 1366. And this is going to give you that long-term sell back to our monthly trend line. All right. Otherwise, if we go bullish, what we're going to see is a rejection from this trend line here. We're going to wait for another retest of this level like we saw here, except now we need to wait for bullish confirmation right here, because right here we had no bullish confirmation. Do we see any bullish engulfing candles? No. So there was no sell entries, buy entries available on that breakout. So now we're looking for this next breakout to happen and show proof that we're going to get some buy pressure once we break above this daily level of 1431. If that happens, then we're going all the way up to 1500. So these are basically the two scenarios to play out for gold. Right now we're looking short biased on gold. I wouldn't be looking at anything else. But as I said, there's no clear entries right now. We're just kind of waiting out the market. Now let's go on to the next pair. We have USD CAD. All right. So USD CAD, we're going to bring this up to the monthly chart. And this was requested by @Forgotten2019. So let's go ahead and start analyzing USD CAD. Go over here to look for a nice monthly zone. I'm starting all of my charts blank so that you guys can see exactly how I analyze these markets. Right, I like this monthly zone quite well because what this is showing me is the lowest point in the most recent trend of the market. What's the most recent trend if we follow the flow of the market? We had this impulse move to the upside. This was our uptrend. This uptrend stopped right here. From there, we had this downtrend right here, and this downtrend stopped right here. So we have uptrend that had the retest here, downtrend, which is the most recent trend that stopped, and now we're starting an uptrend right here. All right, so far we've continued to create those higher lows and higher highs. However, right here we have a lower high. So we got to take this down to the weekly chart and kind of see what's going on right in that area. And then as far as our upper zone, only really levels that we can use is either our all-time highs, and then bring it down. So this could be our monthly zone that we kind of look at to see, all right, if we start breaking above and closing above this candle here, then we can potentially expect continued bullish price action. All right, bring it down to the weekly. All right, weekly time frame. Now looking at this, sometimes to give me a better view, I like to take a clean move from monthly to monthly and then draw my fib so that I can kind of see some major fib zones that we might have some weekly levels of support resistance at. So looking here, I do see a very nice level right at this 38.2 for a mid-range zone. And I also see this upper zone right here at the 78.6. That looks very nice as far as weekly zones. Now it's also taken into consideration that we do have a nice uptrend right here. And we are seeing rejection from that uptrend right now. So USD CAD looking like potential longs, but we need to kind of break this down more on the daily time frame because this is not enough confirmation to be able to take a buy right here. Let's go ahead, go over to the daily time frame. All right. So looking at daily, we see a lot of pivots right in this level. And if you guys don't know what a pivot is, basically where the market kind of changes direction. All right, so we do have a lot of pivots right here. I'll go ahead and mark some of them out for you. One clear right there, a break and retest here, rejection here, a little bit breaking above there, consolidation in this zone here, break and retest there, rejection, double bottom right there, two rejections there. All right, so those are all of our confluences to show us that this is a clear zone on USD CAD. So let's go ahead and change our color. And now looking at this, this is why I can say, hey, we're not ready to kind of enter our buys yet. We need to build some more confluences, at least looking at the daily time frame. We can go ahead and draw our counter trend line just to give us some perspective. And just know I don't trade solely based off of trend lines. I'm not just going to look at a trend line and base my whole analysis off of that, because trend lines can be drawn 10 million different ways. All right, so we're going to take this down to the 4-hour time frame. And what I'm expecting to kind of look for is the potential for this to kind of break above this daily zone right here, break this trend to create another high, a higher high basically, because we have this consolidation that has equal level highs. Potentially then wait for a retest to then go long up to this weekly zone, targeting either this pivot level or up here at the top of the zone. So that's what I'm kind of thinking about right now on this chart so far, looking at the daily. Let's go ahead, clear this out, bring this out to the hour 4 now. All right, so we're on the hour 4. And this is basically where we look here and we haven't had a candle close above this level until just now. Now, still don't have enough confirmation because I'd like to see a pullback before I enter. This is a full impulse move, so I'd rather just see this continue going, and maybe even come up to this, come up to around this level right here. You can look back, and this is the zone that I'd be looking for it to kind of push up to. Right, and this is my plan for USD CAD now, looking at all of this. All right, I'm going to wait for a bullish impulse, which it's already started, to continue all the way up to this 4-hour zone right here. This would create a higher high than our previous 2 highs right here. And then after that, we're looking for it to create a higher low. So for it to come back down to exhaustion, maybe come back down to this consolidation level here, and then look for buy pressure at this level. So look for a bullish engulfing candle, bullish confirmations at this level. From there, I can create a solid entry with good risk to reward. We can go ahead and bring our stop loss below our previous low right here and put our take profit all the way up to this pivot point. This gives me 2.4 to 1 risk reward ratio. If you wanted to go big, you can get about 3 to 1 risk reward ratio coming to the top of this consolidation zone. And you can set that as another alternate take profit. The levels that I would kind of be looking at is to look at bringing price to break even right around here once we do break and retest. And then this would be my second take profit. And then our third take profit for all of you really eager people to come all the way up to the top of this weekly zone, the top of that consolidation would be up here. So we're looking at first target at 1.32, 170, then 1.33950, and then about 1.35 for our final target on USD CAD. And once again, be patient on this. You might have to just sit on your hands for a week, maybe more. Maybe it only takes a couple of days. Maybe we get a lot of volatility over the next few days. But however long it takes, we need to wait for that clean push up to this level of structure. Then look for us to come back down to this daily structure, back to our trend line, back to this consolidation zone that we broke out of. So finally retesting there. And then finally look for bullish confirmation right here, i.e. a bullish engulfing candle. And there you go. This is what I'd be looking for on USD CAD. Let's go over to our next pair now. And we have US oil for our next pair. This is brought to you by a very good friend of mine, awesome trader. Tune the Trader was the one who recommended this. Go give him a follow on Instagram. Great guy, great trader. Part of the Evolve community, if you don't know about them, another great Forex community. So make sure to go check them out. Also, Critical _comedy _ ask for the same pair. So we needed to definitely go over US oil by popular demand. So looking at US oil, we see clear monthly levels of demand right here. That's a clear monthly demand zone. We can even extend this all the way out to the beginning of time, basically, when this chart started back in 83. And every single time that we've come to this price, we've had some sort of significant reaction over and over and over again. So we know that that's a very clear monthly zone. Tip for you traders who are having struggles with finding your zones: once you find one zone, you can basically look at recent price and say, where was a whole trend completed? So when I'm looking at this, all I want to look at is only up until this zone. And that's because the most recent trend was this counter trend right here, this uptrend coming from monthly to monthly zone. Yes, you could draw it up here technically, and this is your downtrend right here, but let's look at recent price action. We already have an uptrend that ended, and now we're starting a potential downtrend. So I only need to focus from here to here. Everything else is just noise, and then you're going to be drawing way too many zones on your charts, and it's just going to be annoying. So try to focus on less, because you're on the monthly time frame. So it's not like you're focusing on less. This is still the big picture, but you want to grab and focus on the part of that picture that applies to you right now. All right, so bring this over to the weekly time frame now. Same old, same old. And this is super easy. Clear zone right here that we are rejecting from. And we have 1, 2, and a third rejection right here. So we're definitely still bearish on US oil so far, looking at the weekly time frame. Now we can go ahead, and here's where a lot of traders mess up, in my opinion. In my opinion, this is the uptrend. Okay, so we have a break and retest right here. A lot of traders are going to try to invent and kind of bring this down over here. And I don't agree with that at all, because this is a clear uptrend with higher lows and higher highs until this point where we have a double top and clear, huge bearish sell pressure, huge sell pressure here. So now sellers are in control, and we have a slow push to the upside. So now we're in a push exhaustion cycle to the downside, not to the upside. So I don't want to focus on buys anymore. I want to focus on sells. So this is the trend line that I would see on US oil. Now let's go over to our daily time frame. But first, I want to just get this little lower zone right here, just to give us a little more perspective on the chart, and see clear levels over and over and over again. Right here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 touches at this level. So very clear level of structure right there. Now let's bring this down to the daily, and we're going to kind of focus on this zone right here. Daily time frame. All right, very clear double top. Retail traders love this. Eat the hell up out of this. The problem is people are antsy, and they know we're going to wait for a break and retest of this double top. So the neckline, classic, this is what's on every single Forex Guru's course. You're waiting for a break, a retest, and then you sell right here. But we don't have any sell confirmation. This candle right here with the wick is not a bearish signal. All right, this is a bullish signal, which means that this candle is most likely going to fill that wick. So we don't have enough reasons to enter sells yet. At least not anymore. At the beginning of the week, kind of did on the 4-hour, 1-hour chart. But besides that, looking at this, we can kind of break this down to the 4-hour time frame and look in this area as well. And we'll break that trend line down. Here is my daily mid-range zone that I would be using to mark a level of support right there. And that's the majority of what I'm getting from the daily time frame. We have this rejection from our weekly trend line, 1, 2 rejections from weekly level of resistance. So we're getting ready for that sell. Now, unless you sold up here on this sell, you now no longer have an entry. This was the first impulse move. So we had first rejection. Your opportunity to get into this trade was on this strong bearish candle. If your entry was there, you're golden, because then your trade setup should look something like this. And you can continue to sell. Stop loss is above the previous pivot. And you can bring it either to the daily time frame, or ultimately we should be coming down to the weekly time frame. However, we are not entering right here, all right, because we just started exhaustion. This was an impulse move. Now we're just starting exhaustion. So we can go ahead and draw fib here and wait to see where we get some clear exhaustion, and bring this to the 4-hour time frame now and see where we can expect this exhaustion to end and re-enter sells. 4-hour time frame. All right, here's where we're going to get into the good stuff. All right, I see this clear level at this 50%, but we could come literally all the way up to this 61.8. So somewhere between this 50 and 61.8 is where I would expect this exhaustion cycle to end. This is where I'm looking for a confirmation to sell. Now, the only other place that we can potentially take an entry is potentially from this rejection point right here, where we have that little bit of manipulation at the 78.6. But we're not going to worry about that because we haven't broken above the 50 to 61.8% yet. So trading plan for US oil is going to be to wait for price to come into this zone. Our stops are going to be above that previous pivot point. And we're going to be looking for price to come at least down to this daily time frame, which is where we can get that 2-to-1 risk reward ratio. For those of you guys who want to really hold this long term, you can bring it all the way down to the weekly time frame. However, if you can get 2-to-1 and not have to wait as long, by all means, that's what you can go for. So we're going to wait for price to come up to this zone right here. Price should come up into this zone and respect this area where price manipulated up because we dropped so quickly that institutions needed to buy to then get better entries to then sell. And this is also faking out traders because then they're saying, all right, we had a quick drop, well now it's support. All right, retail traders are going to buy, they're going to get stopped out, and then bam, it comes down, and we continue down. Now we're in a short-term uptrend. We see double bottom break, retest. Price is pushing back to the upside now. So we're going to wait for price to come up to here, maybe even come up to that 78.6 where we see this manipulation here. So somewhere here or here, we're going to wait to see for strong bearish pressure, i.e. we're looking for a bearish engulfing candle now. All right, something like this candle, obviously, hopefully not as big so that we can have time to enter. But something as simple as here, where we see small bullish candle, strong bearish candle, gives you clear entries to sell. Same thing when we see here. We see a smaller bullish candle, 2 strong bearish candles, and we can go ahead and sell, and you get those profits in right there. That's what we're looking for in this market to enter for US oil. Let's go ahead. Next one we are looking at is another one from Tune the Trader. We're going to go into Euro JPY. I want to give another big shout out to Tune the Trader for always supporting our channel, supporting our community, supporting our Forex community. He's really doing some great things, and On top of that, you guys are getting tons of value because he picked some awesome pairs for me to go over today. It's always challenging other good traders that he works with and knows to try to improve and do better. And that's what he's doing with me right now, is making sure that I'm staying on top of my game and looking at these really important pairs and marking them up and actually giving you guys value as well. So shout out to Tune the Trader again. Make sure to go check him out. Monthly time frame on Euro JPY, very interesting pair. All right, I'm going to tell you, I was looking at this morning, and I'm really looking forward to the trade setup on this pair. All right, here's my monthly zone that I'm focused on. And once again, like I said, if you are struggling with finding your monthly zones, look at the current trend. So currently we've been downtrending. Now look where that current trend started and the previous trend ended. Then look where that previous trend started. So this previous trend started here. And that can be your monthly lower zone. Now we go monthly upper zone, where the previous trend ended. All right, and we're going to see that we get multiple confirmations on both of those, which confirms us using those two zones. See 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 touches here, 1, tons of consolidation, 2, 3, 4, 5 touches here. So both of these zones are valid for our monthly time frame. You can tell that this uptrend is over. Looking at the flow of the market, all right, starting from back here, we had downtrend, uptrend, end of that uptrend, downtrend, uptrend, end of this uptrend, continuation of overall long-term downtrend, and new downtrend. So what do we take out of this? What's relevant now? Well, this is what's left that's relevant. And that's what we should be focusing on. Bam. We're going to bring that monthly trend line because that is just too beautiful to ignore. And then we're going to take this down to the weekly time frame to see what we can see on this pair and see where potential trades are. Weekly. All right. I'm liking the zone. As if I spot something as soon as I open up the next time frame chart, it usually means that it's a very good zone. We see right here, clear touches here, both buyers and sellers reacting at this price. Sellers trying to take control of the market, failing. Buyers re-entering right there. Buyers right coming in here. Sellers taking over right there. Bam. That's a nice weekly zone that we should always be looking for. All right, next thing that I notice on this pair is that we just broke this pivot right here. For those of you guys who are new to trading, make sure you know how to navigate TradingView and use all of the features, because if you don't, it's going to be a lot more difficult for you to analyze charts, and it just makes life a lot easier. So take your time, get on the charts, mess with all the tools, and make sure that you know how to use everything. All right, so we just recently, in the last month, broke to the downside and had a nice retest of this zone. Now, for those of you guys who've been trading for a while, this huge wick right here was called the flash crash. It was at the beginning of this year, and what we saw was basically because of Apple and Japan and some sort of trade wars that were going on and some news that got released, the price just completely tanked on every single JPY pair, about 1,000 pips in a matter of a week, some more than others. So this one was about a 750 pip drop. And we recovered from that crash. And now we're going ahead and coming down to fill this wick right here. And a lot of wicks, if you see in the market, are almost always filled. You look at any wick and you look at the past, it ends up getting filled eventually. So we see right here, we had huge impulse move, this wick back to get buy pressure here. Comes back up, gets some nice buys, and then what happens? We eventually come down and fill that wick. So that's what I believe is going on Euro JPY right now, which means that these sells are valid. Now, where are we going to take entries? Well, any of you guys who've been trading for a while know that if you guys got entries up here back July 19, then, or July 1st, then you're in amazing profits right now and should continue holding. But for those of you guys who are not in your OJPY yet, let's take this down to the daily, see what we can find. All right, looking at the daily. I'm not going to draw a lower zone because it doesn't do any justice right now. I could draw it right here. And yes, this zone is starting to get broken right now. Now let's go ahead and just leave it. But what's important right here is that we do have these higher lows that ended up breaking to the downside. Now this could just be a false breakout. So we want to kind of wait and see what's going on. Wait and see, because we could easily have this wick grab buyers come into the market, come all the way back up to this zone, and then continue back to the downside. And wouldn't you rather enter all the way up here than down here? I know I would, and I know institutions would, which means that they could easily manipulate the market to come right back up to this level. You can see that they've manipulated price in the past right at this level right here, where price was going bullish. It continued to go bullish, shot all the way up, and what happened? It manipulated right back down and then closed here, and then we continued up. You see right again here, we were coming down, we manipulated price up, and then continued selling. All right, we came down to this line, daily candle close up here, when we manipulated back up, continued selling. So we could come right back to this manipulation zone and sell off again. You gotta go to the 4-hour time frame, see what's going on in this little zone right here to see if we're just going to break down and continue going down, or if we're going to potentially retest back up to 121,600. So 4-hour, and this is what I like to see. So this is telling me that we may be getting ready for shorts on Euro JPY, but we're going to need to wait for confirmations. So looking at this market, I'm not going to put my stop loss here. I'm going to put it above that manipulation zone if I was going to trade this. And we're going to be looking for price to come all the way down to our daily wick fill. So auto, weekly. Let's go ahead and mark this wick fill right here. And we can continue lower after that to our monthly zone. But I want to mark this right here. All right. Because now we have some perspective as to how far we can sell this for. So I would come right back to where this wick fill is, maybe a little higher. And I don't have 2-to-1 risk reward ratio. So we're going to really need some confirmations before we get into this trade. We're going to have a stop loss above this swing high, which is still a valid stop loss. But we need to make sure that price is continuing to the downside after we retest here. Now, how are we going to do that? We're not going to be able to enter right as soon as it retests. We're going to end up entering probably somewhere down here when we wait for a 1-hour or 4-hour bearish engulfing candle close. With our stop loss above here, we get 2.8 risk to reward ratio, and very simple, we're going to wait for a push to the upside, right to about 128.50, and then a continuation back to the downside. We're going to enter on that continuation to the downside only and only if we get a bearish engulfing candle confirmation. Now, like I said, this is going to be something like this. Small bullish candle, strong bearish candle. And we can break this down even down to the 1-hour time frame, kind of get in a little bit earlier. So bullish, bulls are taking over the market. Retest, bulls take over the market still. Not a strong bearish candle. Bullish candle, not a strong bearish candle. Strong bearish candle at support, not going to enter. Strong bearish candle closing below support. Now we have a confirmation. We can enter here or enter on a retest of this zone. So wait for a retest on the 1-hour time frame or 15-minute time frame. And this is where you go from taking your big picture all the way down to like the 15-minute time frame. And right here, we see a clear break, retest, and sell entry on our 15-minute time frame. 30-minute time frame. That one random bullish candle, this is manipulation to the upside to continue down. This is where we can enter. We look at the 1 hour time frame, and now your entry is all the way up here instead of on the close of this 1 hour candle. Either you enter on the close of the 1 hour candle or the retest. Either way, you're talking about a 5 pip difference. That's going to be completely up to you. This is where we could have entered this morning. Now we need to wait for confirmation. We need to wait for something like this to occur again. So we still have bullish candles. Don't get fooled and start selling here. This candle hasn't closed yet. And even if this candle closes in the next 15 minutes bearish like this, it's not strong enough bearish candle that we can continue to the upside. So we don't want to enter yet. So this is what I'm waiting for. We're waiting for a full retest of 120,900 and then to come all the way back down. Let's go ahead and map out some targets. And I like how that's a 61.8 retracement right there as well. All right, first target is going to be that negative 61.8%. Is that 121,150 or 120,150? Our second target, we're going to have to base on daily or weekly structures, which we don't really have many. So looking left, I see a structure right there. We see rejection to come up. We see rejection coming up, coming back down. All right, now we can bring this over here. And that's a nice middle zone between our take profit 1 and our take profit 3. So we're going to be looking for this to be our take profit 2, around 119,600. And then lastly, we're going to see for 118.18 for price to come down for take profit 3. And this is what I'm hoping for on Euro JPY. I'll be watching the 4 hour and 1 hour time frame. Hopefully I'll get this uploaded very soon so you guys can take advantage of this trade. If not, after you guys watch this will be for educational purposes so that you guys can then watch for stuff like this in the future. Next pair that we're going to go over, and we're going to skip a couple of these. I'll have USD MXN from Tune the Trader, German 30. We're going to go over that one. It's a very unique pair. German 30, and we're going to kind of start breezing through these. We got some really in-depth analysis. You can see exactly how I go through everything. Now we're going to go in a little bit quicker and just break these down really quickly on overall direction for you guys. So I don't want to make this video too long. I don't want to be that guy that has you sitting in front of your computer all day when you guys can be getting some real chart time in instead. All right, monthly lower zone and our monthly upper zone. Same monthly trend line right here that could potentially be retesting to continue back to the downside. Bring this to our weekly. Like this zone right here, very clean. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 rejections from that level. Here's a nice weekly mid-range zone. Look right here, manipulation, consolidation, and price shot up. So this is going to be the zone that I'm looking at on German 30. Very bullish so far. Go ahead and, all right. weekly trend line right there. Looking at this, strong buys yesterday and today. So how do we take advantage of this? Well, counter trend right here. We can wait for a pullback. And let's go ahead and draw a daily zone right here that we just broke above. And start planning as to what's going to happen. Let's go ahead and bring this to the 4 hour time frame. All right, we had clear break, retest here. But like I said, this is a whole push. So I want to see this push and exhaustion cycle kind of come in. So we have our first push confirming buyers are in the market. I usually don't want to enter on the first push. This first push can come as high as it wants. Let's say it comes up to here. We're going to wait for that retest to come into play, maybe at 12,430 to then come back long. But we should continue long on this. But we're going to wait for this impulse move to finish. And then after that, wait for that retest. Once we get that retest, we should have a clear shot all the way up to 13,200. Very clear to 13,200. We can bring it a little bit shorter and come down to 13,000 even. Just because we like those even psychological numbers right here, and we do have a pivot point right there, and that's going to give us plenty of profits on the market, and then always leave a runner to come all the way up to maybe 13,200, 300 area where this top monthly zone is. But our previous trend ended at 13,150. So we could continue in this trend of coming lower and lower and lower, which we have break and retest of this counter trend line, which gave us more confirmation here. So how could you have taken advantage of this earlier? Earlier, what we could have done is seen that we had a clear double confirmation here. 1 rejection, 2 rejection from this weekly zone. All right, then we get strong bullish confirmation. We could have entered on this bullish engulfing candle or on this retest after the bullish engulfing candle. Anywhere in this zone would have been valid entries. This would have given you a nice place to take longs with your stop loss below the previous swing low, not this swing low. This way you avoid getting wicked out. And that's how you could have taken advantage of this move. And this would have been entries yesterday at around 5 o'clock Eastern time. And that would have given you 250 pips in profit. That's our first impulse move. That's how you could have taken advantage of that first impulse. Now we know the direction of the market. We're just going to simply wait for a retest to happen. And we can draw fibs right here. And we're at the 78.6. So we could take from the 78.6 and come back down, maybe to this intraday 4 hour zone right here. We come back down to this intraday 4 hour zone at around 12,300. Even from right here, this is a possibility. We can speculate all day. The whole point is we need to understand the concept. It doesn't matter where it retests from. The point is eventually we're going to have a significant pullback. You wait for it to have that significant pullback, and then you enter on the completion of that pullback, the completion of that exhaustion, to then come back up to this monthly zone at around 13,000. And that's going to be very easy profits. Once again, like always, you're going to put your stop loss below the previous swing low, which is about 12,150. So make sure to take notes on this video so you guys can take advantage of these moves. This is going to be a great trade to go into on the German 30 if you can trade that with your broker. Let's see what else we got here. All right, GJ, USD JPY, CHF JPY. We're just going to go ahead and do GBP JPY and call it a session. If you guys didn't get your pair analyzed during this video, I'm sorry, we got so many pairs that got sent out to us. So we're going to do GJ and maybe one more for you guys. And then for our next market outlook next week, we're going to try to do these every single Sunday. Is drop in the comment section below here your @ name and what pair that you want us to go over, and we will go ahead and shout you out and do an analysis for your pair. All right, so let's go right into GJ. Monthly, and this comes to you by critical_comedy. Once again, sent us some nice pairs that he wanted us to go over. And GJ, as a lot of you guys know if you follow me, is one of my favorite pairs. All right, clear monthly zone right at this level. Like I said, you can never go wrong with the end of the previous trend. We're in a downtrend now. This was the start of the uptrend. And then bam, there's your monthly zone. And we get multiple confluences right there. Once again, here's our monthly zone. See right here, that consolidation zone, the end of that monthly uptrend, that hesitation in the middle of this big push to the downside. And very similar to Euro JPY, we are about to fill this wick. So let's go weekly zone. I see this nice mid-range zone right here where we're kind of consolidating and bouncing between this weekly and the top monthly zone. And before we were bouncing between the bottom zone. So anytime you see that, good indication that that's your weekly zone. Overall downtrend still. Now looking at the cycles, we have a push, consolidation, continued to push. So we're expecting this to maybe come down as far as 131,926, but eventually we're going to have at least some sort of big retracement back to this weekly zone. Let's go daily time frame. See this nice area right here that was previously broken. All right, very similar to Euro JPY where we broke this previous pivot right here. And we're continuing to the downside. We're going to mark that area right there because this is an important fundamental zone. This is an important area of demand where literally as soon as price hit 132, price completely snapped in the opposite direction. So we know that's an important demand zone. We can modify this pivot a little right here. And now we're on the 4-hour time frame. Here is the current 4-hour consolidation zone. We are consolidating between this previous pivot that was retested and this double bottom that was retested. No real trade on the 4-hour time frame. All right, we are in an overall downtrend, so shorts have higher probability. However, I would not be entering either trade right now because we are deeply exhausted to the downside. Well, not exhausted, we're in a deep push. So where we're still having that impulse move to the downside on the long-term time frames, and we haven't had a retracement. We also don't have any confirmation to enter a counter trend trade to have that retracement trade either. So this is a no trade zone for me. I would kind of stay away from GJ for a while until we see some clarity on where its next direction is. That clarity is going to come from either a break of 135,200 and retest to come back up to this daily zone of 137,500, or a break of this consolidation zone at 134,300, come down to this zone, maybe break back up, give us a nice quick little retest, and continue back down to go to fill that wick on the daily time frame. All right, last one that we are going to go over. And these are pairs that my partner sent to me because he knows I hate CHF pairs with a passion. So we're going to go over Euro CHF. He sent me like 5-6 different CHF pairs that he wanted me to go over, and that's just not happening. We'll go over one for you guys though, because I know there's some CHF traders out there that would love for me to go over this stuff. All right, Euro CHF. Clearly, we're in an overall downtrend on the month, but we've been downtrending for a long time. I just don't like how slow these markets are on CHF pairs. They move extremely slow. So if you trade CHF pairs, this is for people who don't want Any volatility, they want the markets to just be very slow and patient, and they'll wait for the market to come to them. Because if you are a fast-paced type person that just wants to go, 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 you're going to fall asleep on a CHF pair, and you're going to be impatient, and you're going to overtrade, and that's just a recipe for disaster. Right? But these are very easy to mark up as well. We see our monthly lower and upper zones. And I can already tell exactly where our weekly zone was. It's right there. Our weekly lower zone is going to be right here. And our daily zone will be right here. So easy to mark up. I will tell you that, but I'm very impatient when it comes to these CHF pairs. All right, so clear entries right here would have been on this break, retest, simple bearish flag, bearish engulfing candle, gave you plenty of entries. Right now, you're a little late to the game if you're trying to get in shorts right now in Euro CHF. We're coming down to that weekly zone. If you guys get lucky enough for a price to retrace again, which it could, or it could just continue dropping, but if we get some sort of retracement back to 1.10750, then we will definitely see this come down to around 1.07500 at least. This will give you guys a nice risk to reward ratio and some decent pips. We don't even need to go any further. This pair is very simple to analyze. You just need to be very patient with it. All right, this is a 314 pip trade, 120 pip stop loss. We got to put it above this previous consolidation zone, this previous pivot right here, specifically that wick. So we got it above that zone, 124 pips, 2.5 risk to reward if we get that retracement. If not, let this thing go. And we're going to just leave it alone. But here's Euro CHF, very simple. If we do get that, whenever this stops retracing, which maybe let's say it comes down to this is a 61.8 retracement perfectly right there. Either going to do that or be at 38.2, which it already passed. So I could see it coming down to about 1.09350. If it comes down to there and retraces, this will give us, plenty of opportunity to have that 61.8 retracement and then come down. That would be a very nice trade to be entering. So stay updated on that. Keep your eyes on that. If you guys got value from this video, I would really love it if you guys hit that subscribe button, give us a like, and comment what your thoughts were. What's your favorite pair that we went over? And does this type of video help you just watching somebody mark up charts, listening to their thought process, listening to how they kind of go ahead and mark up their charts, what they're looking for in a trade, and what they're waiting for in the markets? Because a lot of people think that trading is just pressing buttons all day and just printing money, and it's not. It's a lot of just sitting around on your hands and waiting for the market to come to you. As you can see, we've been going at it for maybe about 45 minutes, an hour. I lost track of time, to be honest, because I love trading so much. And we did about 5 or 6 pairs. You only need to trade 3 or 4 pairs consistently to be profitable. So literally 30 to 45 minutes every few days in a week, you do your markups and check up on them, and you're good. Trading does not take a lot of time. It's not time consuming once you have the skill set and you know what you're doing. So I really hope this gives you value. I really hope that this gives you value and motivates you to see how simple Forex is and how you guys can be profitable just by being a little more patient and waiting for these setups to come to you. Thank you guys so much. Have a great day, and I will see you guys on the next video.
What's up, guys? I almost forgot. If you guys want to be on our next market outlook video and you guys want us to analyze a pair of your choice, make sure to comment below in the comment section and we will go over whichever pair you guys comment below. This is all for you guys to get analysis on pairs that you guys like to trade, get some more clarity, and see how we analyze our charts. Hope this helps. See you guys on the next video.